Hi YouTube, just a quick video guys. I'm just back for doing an overnighter in a location in one of my previous videos, but for some unknown reason I forgot to lift my phone, so I wasn't able to video any it, so my apologies for that, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. As I said, it's a location in one of my previous videos. Went down. I've got a wee Miltech tent, took a wee hammock with me as well, just sat, just chilled right out guys. It was absolutely immense. Just a wee overnight, a wee last minute thing, but unfortunately, as I say, because of the nature of the journey, when I was 3/4 of the way there, I'd only then realised that I didn't have my phone with me, so I wasn't able to take any footage, so apologies for that. However, there will be other videos coming up in the future guys, so again I know you've been waiting a while, and it was my intention on actually taking these with me, but it was only when I was almost there I realised that I'd actually forgot my phone. But in hindsight, and I suppose in another way, it wasn't really a bad thing, because it meant there was no distractions, no text messages, notifications for Facebook and all the rest of it. It was great just to sit and absolutely just relax and listen to the sounds. Had Zara with me, and as you can see guys, I think I've tired the wee puppet, so that's basically that guys. Just a wee apology video for not taking you on this journey, but there will definitely be other ones. So I now need to go and unpack this beast, get the stuff I was wearing yesterday into the wash. Kind of things I did when I was there. Just as I said, it was a really laid back, relaxed one. Got there, I'd probably say about 2:30 in the afternoon. Took my time setting up. Wasn't in any great rush, because obviously the lights it's light here till probably about 11 o'clock now, which helped. As I say, the tent I used was the Miltech Recon, just to be kind of 1-2 man thing. But I actually took a DD tarp with me as well, a 3x3. I had that over the front of it as an awning kind of thing. There wasn't a great deal of wind or anything, so it was basically just in case there was a wee shiver, which we did have a couple of times last night, but because of the foliage overhead, it didn't really penetrate that much, but it just gave me a wee admin area to sit. I had a fire just beyond that. It wasn't anything extravagant, it was just a wee upside down fire, where I'd kind of made a small ring. I'd used a wee plastic trowel, dug a bit of a hole, made a raft of silver birch, which was lying everywhere. That might give you a clue as to the location. Just made a wee ring of stones, made a wee raft, got a wee fire going. It wasn't anything extravagant, it wasn't anything OTT, it was more for the ambience. That burned until, well, I didn't like that till about, I'd probably say about 7 o'clock, because the midges started to get quite bad. But I had Smidge, and I've got the Avon Skin So Soft stuff with me. I don't know if it's just me guys, but I tried the Skin So Soft stuff first, and I felt that it wasn't as effective as it used to be. So I don't know if they'd maybe changed an ingredient in it or something, or maybe it was just me, I've got something in my blood that they prefer and they're willing to go through the Avon. As well as that, I then put the Smidge stuff on, which again has mixed results, but the two of them did the trick. I've not got a great deal of bites on me, probably about a dozen, not more than enough. Just had my wee Highlander blade with me. I didn't have any fancy cooking utensils or anything. I just had a couple of boiling the bags. I actually sat and had a couple of beers last night, and it was great. I must admit guys, it was superb just to sit and no worry about anything for a wee while. I took a wee walk down to the water's edge, had a wee walk along. So, there's actually a couple of wee places on the water's edge would be great for either just a wee tent, or maybe even some areas have got hammocks because of the way the trees have grown at the bank. So that's something I'll be looking into as well. The only drawback was round about, I'd probably say about between 5 and 7 o'clock, you had a load of, I think it must be school kids or teenagers and stuff running about daft. But there was actually a couple of rangers that came past, a couple of police officers as well. started talking to one of them. It actually turns out that I knew one of them from my time in the army, so I was talking away to him. He'd requested to be attached to that division because that was close to where he grew up, and he kind of knew the area back his hand and stuff, so that worked really well for him. So I had a wee chinwag with that. Obviously explain, understand the fact that you're not supposed to camp overnight without kind of making proper provisions, which I had done, so that was fine. Him and his colleague then went kind of a wee patrol down. A couple of Rangers came back the way they'd walked, sat and had a blare of a day, and they'd obviously been speaking to my friend, and they're like, oh, it's okay, we've been told, but they said that they've had mixed results with regards to the camping ban round about the Loch Lomond and Trossachs. A lot of people are saying that it's a good thing, a lot of people saying it's not really making much of a difference, and to be honest guys, first hand what I saw is people are just blatantly ignoring it. They don't care because they know there isn't any sort of criminal action that can be taken against them. It's just you'll maybe get a fine, or you'll maybe get, I don't know, a community service at most, but there's no enforcement policy, because the ranger that I spoke to didn't really have an idea of what his actions could be. Obviously he says that if he deems fit he can contact the police and all that kind of stuff, but he wasn't even sure what his powers were, which in my eyes was a bit concerning, because he's the front line, so he should say, right, well, I'm allowed to do this, I'm allowed to do that, I can't do this, I can't say this, I can't say that. But the person I spoke to was completely in the dark about their roles and responsibilities. As far as he was aware, he was a glorified litter picker, which I thought was quite concerning, because the Rangers are there to help control the environment that people are in, i.e. if there is any antisocial behaviour, if there is any sort of kind of people being untowards or notice anything that shouldn't be happening, they're the people that should be dealing with it, because they are employed by the park, whether it be on a voluntary basis or part-time or however it works. The police are there as a secondary role. I understand obviously the Rangers don't have any powers of arrest, but for what I saw last night, they're greatly outmanned, they're greatly undermanned, and I made a suggestion about why not see about the possibility of contacting reserve military units, and they say, well, that would cost them money, and the parks aren't willing to pay the sort of money that's going to be required for the policing of the park. So what was the whole idea behind putting the camping ban and the bylaws and all the rest of it in place if you're not going to enforce it? I mean, some of the sites that I've been to in the past, since the camping bans came in, and obviously the camping permit thing, there's no way you could camp there. There isn't. I mean, I don't know what these guys were thinking of when they say, oh, this is a campsite. Because some of the places I went to, you're talking, it was overgrown with brush, bracken, ferns, and the area they're talking about is a campsite for 6 tents. You're lucky if you would get 2. But they're trying to charge for that, for pitching your tent there, because that's the area that they've said, no, you're allowed to camp there, which I think is completely ridiculous. Anyway guys, sorry I went on a wee bit of a tangent there. Where was I? So after speaking to my friends and obviously chewing the fat, I then went and got some dinner on. Had a wee mooch about, there is a lot of beautiful plants starting to come up, obviously because of the weather and stuff. The one thing I did notice is that there's not a lot of wildfowl on the water. So I don't know if that was maybe the area that we were in. Seen a couple of swans when I first started my journey, but the further down I got and kind of closer to the campsite that I got to, there wasn't a lot of wildfowl, there wasn't a lot of wildlife. I mean, I've seen grey squirrels and stuff and foxes, but I get told it was deer and all that kind of nonsense. And I have seen deer in the past many moons ago, but again, I don't know if it's maybe the the people that are putting the animals off for coming into the area or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but it was, I mean, beside all of that, it was enjoyable, guys. It was really, and the only thing I need to do now, as I say, is post-exercise admin, get all the washing done, get the weans kind of eating utensils all cleaned up, get my cooking stuff all cleaned up. She did have a fire going. It wasn't a rolling fire, it was just, I had it going to about maybe 10, half 10. Just a wee small. I ended up using the bed of embers to do a wee bit of cooking, which again, I'm sorry for no taking the phone, but that's what happens when you get to my age, you're forgetful. Just nice wee relaxed camp, guys, but definitely be going there again. It's one of the places that, as I say, I went to when I was a wee boy, went to when I was growing up, when I was in the military, came home and obviously took ex-partners down there, took my family down there. But it's definitely a place, it's close to me, because I know the resources that are there and I know what the area is like, and obviously the layout of the area, it's ideal for me. It's for a wee last minute overnighter, I couldn't have picked a better spot, because I knew what was there, I knew what resources I could use, and I knew exactly what the terrain was like and stuff, so I knew I could pack my gear. Bergen weighed roughly about £35, and that's including the tent, so that gives you an idea of how little gear I took. And then I've got my halter for Zach's, I've got my Eka collapsible saw. I took my backhoe saw just as a wee backup, just for kind of smaller branches. I didn't see the need for having a big massive saw if it was only a cutler, but the majority of stuff I ended up using the Eka and the backhoe in conjunction, just to kind of try it out, and there's no point taking it and not using it. I had a snug pack sleeping bag, which does me down to about -10. Slept on top of it all night, guys. I had a pair of shorts on and a t-shirt. I was absolutely roasting. It was really clammy last night, which I think is why we ended up with so many wee showers. It was quite. At one point I thought we were going to end up with a wee kind of thunderstorm. What else have we got? My Highlander blades, a couple of boiling the bags, a few Mars bars, my power bank, first aid kit, fire lighting kit, just the run of the mill things. The stuff that I've showed you in the previous video, 60% of that was in the Bergen. So, but again, guys, I do apologise for not taking you. That was my fault. But there will be definite videos coming in the future. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to go and get my admin sorted. I'm going to go and get some food on, because I'm feeling quite peckish. And I might actually treat myself to a wee cup of tea or a coffee. You never know. Just before I go, guys, I want to give a quick shout out to one of my new subscribers. It's one of the guys I actually work with. He's one of the managers, stroke DJs stroke, I don't know, he works in one of the nightclubs that my company provides security to. So Nico, big thanks, mate, thanks for subscribing. Says I would give you a shout out. Obviously, if Gordon and Coxie are watching, hit the subscribe button, guys, give us a wee thumbs up, and I shall catch you in the next one, guys, okay? Thanks again, and to any of my new subscribers, like, thumbs up, all the rest of it, guys. Alright, thank you, take care, bye.